Hey everybody, I'm Bradley Schneller. This is Keith Bergeron. This is our latest edition of With That Being Said. This is going to be our member profile series for Rue Fitness. So I'm excited to have Keith here. He's our first guest. He's a state trooper for the Louisiana State Police. Did I say that properly?
Yeah.
Good. I always struggle. Every now and then I call Keith I go, hello officer, and he's like, it's trooper. So
I earned that title.
Yeah, apparently that's a big thing. The state trooper, I guess, academy is much more rigorous than your local level.
Absolutely.
Keith was just telling me how they break you down and then build you up and then show you the light and how it's amazing.
Yeah.
With the state police.
And I was easy to be broken down.
Easy to be broken down.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. So let's get into that a little bit. What is your favorite Louisiana State Trooper? I guess in terms of what we do, and you know, we are a health and fitness center where like you had to use your fitness, and you're like, God, thank God I work out.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. For I've been on this job 12 years. So for the beginning of 8 or 9 years, I was in. I didn't care about fitness, didn't care about nutrition, didn't care about drinking. My body was not healthy. So getting into situations was the last thing I ever wanted to do, and then I discovered CrossFit and I get fit, and now I'm like, I'm ready for somebody to run. Like please run, run. Let me use these days of just getting beat down at the CrossFit gym so I can use it to my advantage.
Right.
So it's a whole different mindset. I'm more prepared mentally, physically, and I wish I would have discovered this, and I tell this to everybody, a long time ago.
Awesome. Yeah. So like, what's something that happened that you were like, thank God I'm fit? Like a particular story.
All right, so in the state police, there's a prestigious award. It's called the ACE Award. It's when you recover with an apprehension, which means you recover a stolen vehicle, make an arrest with the guy driving the vehicle 5 times in a year. Okay. I've been shooting for this my whole career. 2 years ago, I was on 4, and I was working downtown with my buddy Travis, and we had an amazing time downtown together. And I'm on Bourbon Street, I'm sitting stopped, a car passes me, I run the license plate.
I think I've heard this story.
Yeah, I run the license plate, it alerts it's stolen. So it doesn't just alert me, it alerts everybody around me that, hey, you're behind a stolen vehicle. So he turns on the Bourbon Street, I'm on St. Peter, I turn behind him. He knows I'm behind him, obviously. He turns on St. Anne, I turn, he pulls over. I pull over, he jumps out. Like, I'm not prepared for this, so I jump out.
So the car's just sitting on Bourbon Street? Or
on St. Anne. He pulls to the side,
you
sit on St. Anne. So I'm sitting in front of St. Anne. He jumps out, I jump out. And like, now it's me and him. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? And obviously he knows he's in a stolen car. I know he's in a stolen car. The unknown, like, what's about to happen, right? So he's like talking to me, he's backing up. And I'm like approaching, hey man, just calm down. Like, I need to talk to you about something. He's like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, my friend Travis, my partner, says he's about to bolt, and as soon as he said, here you bolt. So I pull the taser out, I shoot the taser, miss him, and now we're in a foot pursuit, right? In broad daylight, 4 o'clock, it was a beautiful day, so French Quarter is packed. So we're running, right? And God,
dude,
we're in uniform.
When you're running in uniform, do people like move out the way?
Yes, yeah. Well, people don't know what's going on. They see somebody running, and then it's like one of these, and I always think, like, what are these people thinking?
Right. I'd be thinking the same thing.
Right. So anyway, we're running down Royal Street to Dauphine or whatever. It was about 4 or 5 blocks, and I see him getting gassed. And I've just got a good pace going, right? So I'm like, all right, I got him now. Like, people are stopping. Somebody on a bike stopped. Hey, get on the bike. I'm like, no. Somebody in a G-Wagon stopped. Hey, get in the G-Wagon. I was like, no.
What's a G-Wagon? Sorry.
The Mercedes, like, box SUV.
Okay.
Yeah. So he stopped, rolls the window down. I'm like, no. So anyway, so I see him getting gassed, and he's like trotting, and I got him, right? So I got him, my 5th stolen car. I'm like, I finally got it. It's very hard to get 5 stolen vehicles with apprehensions. A lot of times they run, a lot of times they're abandoned. So I get it. So we're like 6 blocks from where it started. So my buddy picks me up, and we're riding over there, and I'm like, I'm catching my breath. And we turn that corner to St. Anne, and I look, and the car's gone. The passenger restole the car. So, unbeknownst to me,
you didn't know the passenger
was in there because he jumps out and my eyes are on him. And then, I'm not even looking over here. And Travis, who's a really good friend of mine, I'm like, Travis, he's a big guy, he's kind of slow. I said, why didn't you stay with? I said, why didn't you stay with the car? He said, we could replace the car. We can't replace you. Oh. And I wanted to curse him up and down the street. He's smart. It was a smart-ass comment. But yeah, so after that, I said, I'm not going for the ACE award anymore.
How many people get that award?
Oh man, it probably. I mean, maybe like at the troop level, probably 1 or 2 a year, maybe. It's not easy.
Is it harder to shoot a taser than a regular, like your?
Well, yeah, because if you're running, it's I've shot my taser 3 times in this job, and I've been running every time. I miss every time. Because you're running in the things going like this.
I would say let's practice in the gym. But,
oh, it's easy stationary.
I don't know if I want to get tased.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, I think I said, hey, why don't you tase me one time? And you said you don't want to get tased.
Nah, you don't want to get tased. It's a Charlie horse in your whole body.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's miserable, yeah.
So you're 36?
39.
39.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You're 39. You look 33.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. I feel the youngest of my life right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you have 2 kids, right?
Yeah, 2 daughters.
2 daughters. How old?
13 and a 10-year-old.
How is it for them? Do they ever ask you questions about your job?
No. And I kind of shield them from it. They don't really ask me questions. I mean,
That's good, right?
Yeah, there is a question. It's more like a joking question or something like that. They're not really affected by the job, and a lot of the other police officers I know, their kids are the same. You know, it's kind of like that's what they're used to. You know, daddy gets dressed and goes to work, and then daddy comes home.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you're born and raised in New Orleans.
Born in Baton Rouge.
Oh.
Yeah. Moved to New Orleans or Kenner when I was 5.
Kenner.
Yeah, Kenner, Every time I say Kenner, I want to go like this.
I like it. So Kenner, and then you went to Brother Martin, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So graduated from Brother Martin. What was after that?
So I played ball at Brother Martin, baseball.
What position?
Third base.
Okay. Were you good?
I was decent. I kind of blossomed later on in life. So the older I got, the better I got. When I was 10, 11, I got cut from the All-Star team. When I was 9, I got cut. 10, I made it. My dad was the coach.
JBRD.
No, Kenner.
All right. Okay.
We played him, but he got our ass kicked every time.
Okay.
And my best friends were really good, and then they kind of fell off the older we got, and I kind of got better and better. So when I got into college, I graduated Brother Martin, got a scholarship to Delgado. I was with a high school sweetheart. I said I'll stay local, which I feel like a big mistake.
Right.
I feel like you need to go away to college.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so I played at Delgado for 3 years, which was an amazing time.
They're a good baseball team, though.
An amazing baseball team because the JUCO market isn't as saturated in this state as it is in Texas. Texas, you can't go like 3 miles without seeing a JUCO.
Right.
Here, when I played, it was Delgado and Bossier City. That's it. Now they got Delgado, Baton Rouge, and
right. Oh yeah, LSU Shreveport.
Yeah.
Or they are. They're not.
No.
Because they're pretty good.
BRCC, Baton Rouge Community College. Sorry, LSU. Yeah. Yes, I played baseball there. I got married right after I graduated. So I was engaged at 21, married at 22. Yeah.
Yeah, I was married. I got married at 23. I think that's right. Emily was 21, and we're lucky. I think we consider ourselves the luckiest because, I mean, if my kid came to me and Emily's mom had some reservations about her getting married at 21, she said that to my face. Yeah. And that's okay. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Because
she's right.
Yeah, no, she's right.
Yeah.
Because now, like, if my son came to me at 21 and was like, "Hey, I want to get married," I'd be like, "Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening." Because you grow so much in between 21 and 40.
Right.
That, like, you're a completely different person, right?
Oh, my God, yeah.
I'm almost a completely different person every 5 years.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You feel the same way? Or?
Oh, yeah. I'm big on transformations. I transform myself, like, constantly. I'm constantly...
That's good.
Okay. Transforming myself. So, yeah. Like, what I was at 21 and what I am at 39 is, like, sometimes I forget about it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what led you, you're married.
Right.
Were you married and became a state trooper?
Yes. Yeah.
What led you to say, like, hey, that's what I want to do?
Well, I was one of the ones in high school and college. My mom would ask me, hey, what do you want to do? I said, I have no idea. My parents owned a business. Right. Everything fell into my lap. You know, I graduated. I worked for my family business, which I absolutely couldn't stand.
They make T-shirts?
Make T-shirts, uniform T-shirts.
Still do?
Yeah, still do.
What's the name of their company?
AAA Silk Screen and Sporting Goods. There you go, plug.
Shout out to AAA Silk Screen.
Yeah. So it's a rigorous job. It's a monotonous job. You know, if you get an order for 1,000 shirts, back when I worked there, it was all manual press. You had to sit there for 3 days And
not in AC, right?
No, not in AC. And so it was just a miserable job. It wasn't fun seeing my dad stress about being a business owner. So anyway, hey,
I'll back that up. Like for those out there, it sucks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stressful things.
Yeah, my dad's a laborer. My dad's not a business owner. So anyway, at around 25 years old, right after Katrina, my best friend was a state trooper. My best friend since I was 9 years old, Kevin Curley, and he's like, "You should put in for the state police." And at this time in my life, I was nowhere near.
How old are you now?
25.
25.
25, 26. I started putting in an application. I was nowhere near state trooper readiness. I was running and gunning. I was drinking a lot. I was partying a lot. And he said it, and I said, "Well, I'll just do it. What the heck? This is what I need in my life to send me in the right direction." Because I was going down the wrong direction for so many years, and that's what we think when we're out there. We're like, "Hey, this is going to be my savior, right?" So anyway, so I put in for the state police, and it's a process. So you put the application in, they call you, okay, come take a civil service test. So every stepping stone kept coming my way. And the next thing I know, I'm in the academy. And I'm in the State Police Academy.
It's awesome.
I am like, it's a culture shock when you get in there.
Explain that to me. Like,
well, I've never been in the military. I don't really know many people in the military. I'm a preppy kid from Brother Martin, right? And 90% of the guys in the academy are prior military, prior law enforcement, so they have an idea. Hey, this is what I'm getting into, and I had no idea. And leading up to it, my psych evaluation, I was late for that. They closed it on my face. They said, "You're late." I was a minute late, so they closed it on my face. So I called Curly. I said, "Hey, I missed my psych test. I guess I'm not going to be a state trooper." He's like, "Let me make a phone call." Made a phone call. They reset my psych test, right? So there's little things that I thought were going to, shuffle me out of the thing, and they didn't because...
It's almost like you were trying to self-sabotage.
Pretty much. I mean, it wasn't a conscious effort, but that was just my lifestyle was back then. So I get in, and it's funny, in the State Police, they know more about you than you think they do. Because they know I got in because of a good friend of mine.
Right.
They know I went to Brother Martin. They know, so they kind of set you up for disaster. And it's funny because, day number 2, I'm the COIC, cadet in charge, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm holding the, they call it the chow hall, right, which is the cafeteria. I'm holding the door for all the other cadets coming in. We're all in line. So somebody comes to me. So one of the troopers comes up to me who is the head of the academy and says, "Hey, Bergeron, you went to Brother Martin?" And I said, "Yes, sir." So he said, "What school do you think Sheldon went to, Perkins?" And I was like, "Is he from New Orleans?" A big black guy. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "St. Aug?" And he went, "Oh!" I saw his face. He goes in the chow hall, tells Sheldon what, and I could see in the corner of my eye, Perkins just stomping towards me. And I'm and the chow hall is full of civilians, full of the higher rank. So I got laid into on day number 3, and it was just I wanted to quit so many times. I'm lucky I could call Curly and say, "Hey, man."
What made you? I mean, because this wasn't you're a different person now than you were then.
Absolutely.
So 14 years later, you're a much different person now than you were then.
Right.
What kept you going?
I don't know, man. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful. It's just.
Was it your support system, maybe, or your friends?
Well, yeah, I had friends. I had friends in the job now. Curly. I mean, I lean on him so much in the beginning of my career.
He's still a trooper.
Yeah, he's a sergeant now. He's about to be lieutenant. But his dad was a captain. His brother's a trooper. I leaned on him a lot. But I don't know. I am so fortunate to still be doing what I'm doing. And I look back on lifestyle changes, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I'll make 12 years and I'll be on the state police in 4 days.
That's awesome.
So 2007, August 13, 2007 is when I joined, when I first day at the academy.
Right. So you were saying before, your life was kind of, you were living fast and loose, basically.
Yeah.
And you thought that the state troopers were going to set you in that right direction. But
yeah.
It did.
It did not. It did for about 8 months.
Right.
It did for about 8 months.
And then, most people, no matter what kind of situation, and you go back to old habits, unless you can fix what's behind those habits. Right,
of course.
And so, you're back to living fast and loose. How's that look for you? What's that like?
Oh, that's
that you feel comfortable saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm an open book. So I battled substance abuse, and I battled that before. Like, so when I say my buddy came to me and said, "Hey, we want you to join the state police," I was heavy into substance abuse. I was heavy into it. I said, "There's no way." He's like, "Just do it, just do it." And he didn't know what was really going on.
Right.
I was the only one. My ex-wife knew. My parents kind of caught a glimpse of it. Anyway, so I get in the academy, and a lot of us, when we were in addiction, we think, you know, this is gonna do it for me. Whether it's a geographical change, when you move states,
right?
But we always revert back to it if
right.
we're not, you know, like spiritually fit or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, so I joined the State Police Academy. I get straight, right, and then I graduate, and it's all so fast. It's all moving so fast right now,
right?
And I graduate, and then, you know, I'm on the state police. I'm in F training. I graduate from the training portion, which when you graduate state police, you get a 6-month training. You're riding along with somebody else. Anyway, so I graduate that, and then about 8 months in it, now I'm set in. Now I start gradually going back to my old habits, and it was up all night, just running and gunning. We
right.
call it a spree, and it'd be a week or two of just running and gunning. And then you come up, you're like, geez, in peace. Like, let me just slow down. I'm never doing that again. Right. And then it was back off to the race again. That lasted 6 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 6 years on the state police.
So you're 6 years sober?
4.
4 years.
4.5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the moment? And you've told me.
Yeah.
The moment that led you to saying this shit's over.
Well, it was.
I know it's probably a lot of small movements that eventually.
It was a spiritual awakening, if you would call it. It was. I remember the day vividly. I was getting a lot of heat from my captain. You know, he and it's all things I'm doing on, like, not. I say it not on purpose. I'm battling a disease I don't even know I have.
Right. No.
You know, yeah. I'm thinking that.
That's it. Same people, like, you know, it may not be as severe as substance abuse, but people have the same thing with food addiction.
Right, of course.
And being overweight. Like,
right.
it can be a disease,
right.
and they don't know they have it.
Right.
And then the only difference between maybe substance abuse and a food addiction is everybody's shoving food in your face everywhere
right.
you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Which makes it slightly harder. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm at the mindset now. I'm like, you know, once, you know, I'm now divorced, right? And I barely see my kids. My ex-wife is a stickler. I mean, she's not one of the ones who wants to work with you. She wants to work against you. So I'm just thinking to myself, I just need my life just to slow down. Like, once it slows down, I'm gonna get a hold of this thing.
Right.
And then but that's not the way it works.
Right.
You know, this thing is what's making my life chaotic, and I think it's the other way around. I think my life's chaos. That's why I'm turning to the drink, when it's actually the drink is making my life, you know, chaotic. Yeah. Anyway, so my captain's on me. And I had a coworker come to me and say, "Hey man, you think you might have a problem?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I'm an alcoholic, and he had like 25 years, and I respect this man." And I was like, "Hey, no way!"
Right.
Like, you have a job, you're respected in the job. And I'm thinking alcoholics are like, you know, bums on the street who smell bad, don't take showers. Anyway, so he approached me and he put the bug in my head. So every time I would have a slip up, or every time I would come in late to work or not pick my kids up, I would think, man, maybe I have this thing. So finally, I just, you know, it's the gift of desperation. I was beat down. I was beat down in every direction of my life. Friends weren't, you know, my closest friends were like, "We're done with you."
Right.
My work was done with me. My ex-wife was done with me. My kids were done with my parents. So I had nowhere else to turn. And that's what a lot of people need is pain. It's all that pain. So if you're like having trouble with it and you're going back out there, well, you need to go get some more pain. And that's what I did. I kept going back out there and getting beat down. And finally I said, all right, I had enough.
Right.
You know, so I called somebody who I trusted and said, "Hey, I have a problem," and you know, it was out of my hands. And it was the most relieving. I still know where I was. Oh my God, the weight was gone, and I know where I was. I know what time it was. I know who I called, and now it's time. All right, let's start living again.
How long did it take once you made that decision to get help? Right. How long did it take to you to feel comfortable, like, to separate yourself from substance abuse and where you are today?
What do you mean?
So, for example, like, you lose urges. I imagine maybe some of that has gone.
Like, cravings, right?
Cravings.
It's a mental obsession, right? So while we're out there, we're obsessing mentally, right? I'm mentally obsessing. And it'll go away briefly. Like right after I come off of a run, we'll call it a spree of
Right.
For those 2 days, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? And then my brain starts saying, and this is no lie, my brain will start telling myself, tricking me, saying, hey, this time it'll be different.
Yeah.
And then once I start up again, my body takes over, and then I start craving it, and then I'm off to the races. Right.
So you're in recovery.
Right.
How long does it take before maybe that starts to dissipate?
Well,
Does it ever really dissipate?
The mental obsession does, yes. The mental obsession gets lifted once we turn our life over to my life in my hands was chaotic. I need to turn it over to somebody else, whether you want to call it God,
right?
Anything.
Right.
You turn it over. You write down all the things that you've done wrong, right? And you clear away the wreckage of your past, right? So I can't harbor resentments. So anyway, I clear away that, and then it gets gradually lifted, and we have a spiritual awakening again.
Okay.
And then it's a psyche change. So
right.
so now trust me, my brain still says sometimes, hey man, a drink would be good right now.
Yeah.
When I'm in it, for so many years, when I would have hardships or I'd have pain or I would turn to the drink. Oh, this will get me out of it. Now I can't. Now I have to just trudge through it.
Is there anything, I don't want to keep bringing up fitness, but is there anything that helps with maybe turning to something else to keep you occupied?
Without fitness, fitness is now what I replaced all that with.
Right.
Fitness to me is when I go Friday, can't work out Saturday and Sunday. Monday, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm chomping at the bit to get in there to get that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm addicted to that feeling.
Yeah.
And it's golly, I wish I would have discovered this so many years ago.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So, I know you're a big coffee fan.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your thing now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So some people love wine. You're a big coffee fiend.
Big coffee fan.
Do you have a favorite bean? Are you a medium roast, dark roast guy?
I'm a light roast.
Light roast?
I don't like dark roast. And I also, I'm not really that much of a coffee snob where I go which bean is which, but I'm a big Starbucks fan.
Really?
I'm a big Starbucks fan. I'm a big, and I think we talked about this once before, is I don't like I love espresso.
Right.
And espresso's getting to where it's you taste the fruity hints of this or this region. And I enjoy that if I'm sitting down with some people and we have an espresso flight or something like that. I enjoy it, but mostly I like 4 shots of espresso from Starbucks because it's just on ice. On ice. I like a quadruple on ice with some half and half and 2 Splenda. Well, actually, I go 1 Splenda, 1 monk fruit, and that is my jam right now.
So I did this. Keith told me about. I went to District. I got 4 shots of espresso over ice. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
If you have the right type of espresso or coffee, it's not so bitter.
But you go black though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
So that was the thing. I went black. I didn't have any cream. Keith left that part out when he told me about this. And so it was difficult. I liked it, but it was kind of nutso. Yeah. So then I find out, I tell Keith the story. It's all right, I put cream in it.
Yeah. I gotta have half and half, and then unless I'm really feeling like I'm eating bad, then I'll just go straight ice black. But yeah, I'll go half and half. 1 monk fruit, 1 Splenda. I'm trying to get out of the Splenda habit. Mm-hmm. But Splenda to me is perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What? Now you were doing your own cold brew there for a while.
Yes.
What is the name of? I can't think of the name.
It's an OG drip. It's made by a company called Yama, Y-A-M-A, and it's a beautiful piece of equipment. If you ever go in a French truck. Right. Have you been there?
Yeah, it's 4 feet tall, right?
Yeah, mine's not 4 feet tall. This table probably about this high.
Okay.
But it's the same exact. It looks just like a miniature version of that one, and it's all it is. It's just a container with water. You can put ice in there. They don't, and a little nozzle to control the drip, and just drips on beans.
How long did it take?
18 hours.
18 hours.
12 to 18 hours
to make how much coffee?
Ooh.
And it's a concentrate?
Yeah, it's a concentrate. Yeah,
okay, so you can mix it with.
I don't mix.
You don't mix.
I go no. I don't mix it. I get this other coffee too. Right. Concentrate. I don't mix it. Anyway, so yeah, the best way to do it is to set it up and then keep doing it. So you do it for 12 hours. You pull it out, pour it into a pitcher, put it back, and you control the drip again.
So, Emily, if you're watching or listening to this would be a great birthday, Father's Day, Christmas gift for me. This is something I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I actually just broke one of the pieces of it. So they still make the pieces. It's easy to order. So yeah, it's an OG drip, OJI.
I like it.
Yeah.
So Keith, you've been with us now, Roof Fitness, for 3 years.
Yeah, for over 3 years. Yeah.
Over 3 years, so almost 4 probably. Yeah. And you are sober 4 years, right?
4.5. Yeah.
4.5. So we're close here.
Yeah.
So what made you take the jump to this type of fitness? And when I say this type of fitness it's not for the faint of heart.
No.
There's no air condition if you've never been to our gym. We work out in all conditions.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy. I look back at every Friday and I talk to people when we do the workouts and it's like, hey, how was this week? Was it the hardest week you've ever had? Or what was the intensity level like? And I feel like it always just gets harder.
Yeah.
It's never easy.
My friend always asked me, how was the workout? I was like, it was miserable. She's like, you always say that. Like, you always say it's miserable.
I love it.
I would have it no other way. Like, I feel bad for people. My buddy just joined the CrossFit gym across the lake and has air conditioning. And I'm like, that's terrible. He's like, I couldn't do it. I'm like, I couldn't do it with air conditioning.
I can't.
So my buddy joined CrossFit, and I don't have the motivation to go and like, okay, I'm gonna do chest and back today, and 3 sets of this, 4 sets of that. Like, I need direction. I need direction. I need accountability
too.
And like, if I'm not here, you're gonna call me and say, hey,
right,
where are you? Right. So and that's what I need. But man,
so what made you jump into it? Like, you played baseball,
right, in
high school. You played a little JUCO ball, right, and now you're not fit.
No, I wasn't fit back then.
Well,
high school I was.
You're less fit in college, and now you're even less fit as a state trooper.
Yeah.
So, like, what made you say, like, shit, I'm gonna go join a CrossFit gym?
Well, Kevin Kern, who went to Brother Martin, like, I had my in with this place. Like, the hardest part is signing up. It's to be honest with you, it's very
expensive.
It's not the expensive part. It's intimidating. Mm-hmm. And the hardest part is signing up, which is just a mindset that it really isn't that bad. And then my buddy signed up, and I said, well, I signed up too. And I remember my first day. I walk into the thing, you're there, and you say, hey man, you look like you're in shape. I said, I'm not in shape. He's like, well, just warm up with the class. That's what you tell me. Warm up with the class. I'm like, all right. So the warm was like 400 meter run, some banded side steps, some banded squats. And Shane was my coach that day, and I do and after the 400 meter run in the band, I'm done. I'm getting pale. I'm laying on the ground, so I didn't even make the warm up on day one. And like Shane's wheeling the fan over to me, giving me some water, and everybody just running circles around.
I remember one time I had this guy came in to try us out, and the warm up was like a row and some other stuff. He did one row, did like some stretches. We got back on the row to do the second round, and he like almost passed out off the rower. I went like brought the RX bar.
That was me.
Gifted him the RX bar because he never showed up ever again. And I thought it was funny, but like it requires some level. Like I almost liken it to what you had to do when you seeked recovery,
right?
Where it's like you gotta want to do this.
You got to. And the hardest part is signing up, because once you sign up, you're in.
Right.
You have a class schedule. You have the workout. So you don't have to do any more thinking for yourself besides what class am I going to go to. So the hardest part is signing up. And that's a lot. That's to do with a lot of things in life. Like, the hardest part is getting there. And once you make the decision to get there, and
it's interesting because, like, I really feel, I talk about community all the time, and what we are is we're a place, we're an event company, a community that also likes to get fit, right? And I talk about that a lot, but, at the end of the day, man, I see you guys every day, every week, where it's like, y'all are my friends. Like, y'all are my family. And I mean, it's no disrespect to anyone else, but like, and I'm not the best person when it comes to maintaining friendships. Like, I can admit that here. Like, I'm not that good at it. Like, I don't remember birthdays, and I recently deleted Facebook off my phone, so I don't know when people's birthdays are anymore. Good thing for me is that our Wi-Fi system, people get automatic birthday greetings from you. But other than that, like, I'm probably not the best person with keeping up with people's lives, and just maybe because I'm so busy and I blame it on that, I'm not really sure. But I'm just not great at that. But so all my friends out there that I don't keep in touch with you, I still love you. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is that family type of environment, no matter how intimidating it might be, keeps you coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, you know, most of the people take the same class, the 530 crew, which is, I've been there once or twice. Those guys are,
it's intense.
They're a different breed.
They call it 0 dark 30 for a reason.
And they're like super tight, like
right.
It's funny. And it's funny because
they do their own brunches together.
Right. Well, we have a 330 crew that we're starting to form.
Yeah.
You know, see with me, like if I work 2 weeks days, 2 weeks nights. So when I'm on nights, I do the 330 class. When I'm on days, I do the 5:30 p.m. class. So the 3:30 class, we're starting to gear up towards, you know, we're starting to get tight.
And I'm an afternoon guy. I'm a 3:30 guy.
Yeah.
I'm an afternoon guy. I recently, because of my schedule's dictated, I've worked out at 6:30 a couple of times, 7:30, 9:30, and noon this week. I think I might have only done one afternoon this week, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So shout out to them. Like, I don't know how they do it. Like, it's naturally we're going to have better weights and better times in the afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's just brutal at 5:30, 6:30 a.m. But I'll say this about the 5:30, 6:30 a.m.ers. They do not miss.
Right, yeah.
Because nothing gets in the way. You wake up and
right.
you come. It becomes a habit. I did that for a few years. 2 kids now, I can't.
Yeah.
And not to make excuses. It's just knowing that I can work out in the afternoon, it makes it harder to work out in the morning.
But I also like the fact you got it over with. Like at 5:30 a.m., like the workout.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the type of fitness we do, like it's not easy, right? And I say always there's like ups and downs. I've gone through some weird phases over the course of 10 years where, you know, I did just Olympic weightlifting for 9 years. And I'm in a different place now fitness-wise than maybe I was. I also think I'm the fittest I've ever been. It's also tougher for me because I am 35, and I'm not trying to sound old, but I think you just do this long enough and you get to a certain age where you have to really take care of your body.
Right.
So has there been like ups and downs throughout your fitness journey?
Absolutely. I always tell people the hardest part for me with this kind of training is pacing yourself.
Right.
And you want to get out there, and part of me wants to get this workout done as fast as possible in this misery. And part of me, I'm not a very patient person. So part of me wants to be patient. Anyway, so now my fitness journey looks like this. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna put in the effort. You know, and if it's 80%, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. But before it was 100%, 100%, and then I'd find myself tweaking my shoulder, tweaking my back, and then I'd have to kind of scale down. So this is, I found a good little zone. I'm not trying to beat everybody out there, and it's just a consistent. I'm consistent now.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like where I was too, where every day was 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, oh, I'm going to learn this skill, and I did a strict ring muscle up, and then I want to do this skill, and now it's like, man, I just want to work out for an hour.
Yeah.
And like fitted it like it's a part of my life. My schedule kind of revolves around working out, but like I just want to stay fit. I want to look good.
Right.
That's part of it. Like everybody wants to come in here and they want to say like, oh, well, you know, I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. Like at the end of the day, most people just want to look good.
Right. Look good and feel good.
Look good and feel good.
Yeah.
And that's okay to say that. Like you can say that. And so it's how do I do that? How do I maintain that? And then when I have a little juice, I'm going to give it that extra good.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So probably like in a 5 workout week, you know, 2 of them I go hard, 2 of them are like 80%, and one's like a 50 or it's a walk through. So I asked you earlier, you know, we were talking about the state police. I'm going to throw this out there. I saw this video on Twitter the other day. This police officer was in pursuit of this guy on foot. And the guy like did like this one step, the juke, and the police officer just bit it. And then he kind of like got up into a tall kneeling position. It was just like, forget it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm like, the guy was overweight.
Right.
And I mean, I see a lot of police officers out there, not troopers.
No.
Not troopers.
We have ours.
But overweight police officers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, your job requires physical fitness, right?
Yeah, some form, shape, or fashion.
So does the state police require physical fitness?
So, I mean, when we're in the academy...
I know it's intense when you're in the academy.
Oh, yeah. We're up at 5 a.m. running 2 or 3 miles a day, going to class till 4 o'clock, and then we did something wrong, so they put us in this room they call the war room, which is just a big room with wrestling mats. yeah, so we're in that, and that's to kind of gear you towards the lifestyle you're supposed to live on the state police. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people get really lazy, really lackadaisical, which I did it. I did it for 6 years. I mean, I looked like I was in shape.
Right.
You know, but I mean, look on my day one when I was here, I certainly was not in shape. But so for a while, the state police, every year we have an annual in-service, and we have a physical fitness test, which isn't graded. It was a 1.5-mile run.
So it's not really a pass or fail.
Not a pass or fail. It was there was rumors that they were going to use it as a promotional tool. Like, hey, like if you're getting up for promotion, let me see your physical fitness test. But that never came to fruition as well. But anyway, it was a 1.5-mile run, push-ups and sit-ups in a minute. A minute of push-ups and sit-ups, and then it changed to a 300-meter sprint, which is a good.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that mimics your job.
Right, and it changed right after I was in shape.
Right.
So I was ready for this.
You're ready.
Oh, I was ready. And like, you know, you get to around 200 meters in a sprint, and you start to get you. But I still had that extra push.
300 is that you need that extra push.
Yes, you need that, and you need an extra push in your legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because your legs give out first. So then it changed to that, which I love. You know, it was over. I'm not a good distance runner. A 1.5 miles seems easy. It is easy, but I didn't.
Not when you push yourself.
Right, not when you push yourself. So the 300-meter sprint, you know, I'd run in 45 seconds, 47 seconds, and you're done.
Yeah.
And then I do the push-ups and sit-ups.
Do they make you do that in boots?
No. They want you to do it in, like, you know, cargo pants. I didn't.
Is it hard to run in boots? Like you said, you were talking about that.
Yeah. When it's going down, like when you're...
I guess adrenaline takes
Yeah,
over.
adrenaline, you don't feel... I mean, you feel the weight of the belt and everything, and you feel like your stride's not... But you're really just trying to catch this guy. Yeah.
When Keith takes off all his gear at the gym, it's probably like 50 pounds worth.
It's about 20.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
20
about
pounds
20.
worth of gear.
Yeah, it's about 20 pounds, and it doesn't... It fits snug, but it doesn't fit snug. So you're running, and it's shifting as you're running. So yeah, but you have what we call tunnel vision. You don't know what's going on, and it's kind of a dangerous thing, especially if you're driving in pursuit. Tunnel vision is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you don't really know. You don't think about the boost.
So do you think they should require?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the problem is retaining officers.
Right.
You know, like it kind of in a catch-22. You know, you get rid of all the odds that you know, out of shape can't pass a physical fitness test, and you're gonna be in trouble. So our police department did it for a while.
And how did it go?
They don't do it anymore. You know.
That's how well it went, guys.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. Yeah, physical fitness for in law enforcement. I mean, if I'm going and I can say because I was not in shape.
Right.
If I'm going into a situation and my backup is not really the fittest person,
Might make you hesitate.
Absolutely. I hope he's a big guy and can sit on him or something. But
Right.
but to chase people, I mean, it's funny. My whole mindset now is so different. Like I told you at the beginning, like I want you to run. You know, I want to test out this physical fitness I've been doing for 3 years.
Can you share that story when you chased after somebody? I don't know if it was off of Airline Highway or Jefferson Highway, and you left one guy at the car.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So So this is like 2 a.m. I'm driving on Airline Highway.
This is a couple years ago, right?
Maybe like a year or two ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm driving on the highway, and I got a car speeding, and I get behind the car, and believe it or not, when you're behind a vehicle, you can smell if they're smoking weed.
Right.
So I can smell it. So there's 4 people in the car, so I'm by myself. So I pull them over. It was a sticky situation. Anyway, so I get the driver out. You know, I'm cool, calm, and collected. I'm trying not to get him aroused.
Right.
I'm trying to keep my heart rate down. I'm trying to stay cool.
Well, probably 2 a.m. you pull somebody over. You know they got drugs in the car.
Yeah,
You're probably a little freaked out, right?
Well, your awareness is heightened.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I get him out of the car. I'm like, hey, is there anything illegal in the car? He's like, yeah, we have a gun on the floorboard. So like now I'm like, all right, now I know they got drugs and they got guns. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to go grab this gun. So anyway,
Right.
so I get all their hands in the air. They're all in the car like this, and I go grab the gun. And I say, is there any more in the gun? Oh yeah, there's one in the back. Anyway,
You got backup with you, right?
not yet.
Not yet.
I'm by myself. So I ask for backup. Once he says a gun in the car, I say, hey, send me somewhere. Nobody shows up yet. So I get all 4 of them out of the car, and there's 5 guns in the car. There's a gun with a 50 drum magazine in it. I mean, they were going to do some damage. Whether they were going, I have no idea. So I get them all out the car, right? And I'm like, I'm going to search this car. You mind if I search this car? They say, go ahead. So I pull all the guns out, and I get to a backpack. It has like a little, 3 or 4 grams of weed in it. So looking back on it, I should have handcuffed them all right there. But I didn't. I said, oh, whose backpack is this? So as I'm clicking one handcuff, the driver, I click his handcuff. I said, whose backpack is that? Well, now it's off to the races. One dude starts bolting. My backup's here. Me and him start chasing him. And as I'm chasing him, I'm thinking, golly, I got 3 guys back there. So I turn around, and the driver I have handcuffed is running with the handcuffs like this. And I'm like, I'm not going after him. So I make my way back to the car. I said, don't even think about running to the 2 who was still there. Anyway, he's gone. Man, never found him. I cut a warrant for him. So he's back here. He runs my handcuffs.
Right.
We get the dog out there. We get the sheriff's office out there. And I can still to this day see him running, like just, with the hand, which is not easy to run.
No.
Yeah, he got away.
He must CrossFit.
Yeah, he must do something. Or he must run from the police a lot.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I love that story.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't imagine, like, you're chasing and you look back and like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oops.
And then I got to put it on the radio.
Yeah.
One of them is running with my handcuffs.
Do they, like...
And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, with the handcuffs.
Do they razz you, like, when you get back to the
Oh,
station
yeah.
like that?
That doesn't bother me, though. Like, I'm an open book, so I tell everybody the story, And then it was so I had to cut a warrant for him. Which he was found, I think, like 8 months later. He got picked up somewhere.
That's good.
I don't know where my handcuffs are.
So, you've lived a pretty crazy life, but one with a trajectory that is headed nothing but up.
Right.
Hope
so.
Yeah, great relationship with your kids, great relationship with your friends. You're killing it at your job. I know you're studying to do some extra stuff.
Yeah.
If there's any advice you give someone, whether it's fitness related or getting your shit together,
Right.
Police officer or regular person, what would it be?
Oh man! So what I've learned recently is don't be scared of the downfalls in life. Don't be scared of the pain you're going to receive, because for so long when I would go into a hardship, or I'd go in a passing of my mom or a passing I would just check out, and I wouldn't get to experience,
right,
which is hard to say, the pain of what life brings you sometimes. But when I would come out of that pain, I just gone through all this, and I realized I'm a stronger person. So pain is the pathway to growth, pathway to peace. I don't run from pain like I used to. I don't run from hardships. And life's hard.
Yeah.
I recently read a book. The first line was "Life is hard," and it really is. And it's how we can adjust to it. How we can, put as much in our toolkit, so when we do have these hardships, we're able to face them, to trudge through them. And sometimes I don't want to trudge through them, but I know I have to. And I know now at 39 years old, when I get out of it, which I'm going to get out of it,
right,
I'm going to look back and be a much stronger person.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, I was training some people the other day, and I said, like, hey, this workout's going to suck.
Right.
It's going to hurt. But I want you to push through that pain, and when we get through there, we're going to come out the other side strong.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's with everything.
Yeah, I mean, look, marriage is hard. Got to push through that, work that stuff out. Owning a business is hard.
Yes. Yeah.
Being a parent is hard.
I grew up in as a child of business owners. My mom owned a video store, one of the first video stores in the region before Blockbuster came in. So I saw that. My dad owned a business since 1986, so I saw that. So owning a business is not, it's tough. It's stressful.
But like anything, I mean, life is just tough, like you said.
Yeah.
And we're all struggling with stuff. And I love what you said, you just push through the pain.
Yeah, trudge through it, yeah. And you're gonna come out better, and you're gonna come out, like, I use my experience now. And now I can, I can use my experience to help somebody else out now. Like, I can say, hey, I know how you feel, I've been there, and this is what happened, what my life was like, this is what happened, and this is what my life is like now, and I'm here to tell you the truth that, there's a way, there's a solution to get to where you want to be.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So, well, Keith, thanks for doing this today. I appreciate
Hope I
it.
didn't bore everybody.
No, man, it's great. So, enjoy your workout today. We
Yeah.
Enjoy your coffee, man. Thanks.
Thanks,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
All right.